All right, ready for a deep dive into Zaggle.
Sounds good.
They're this Indian spend management company, and they're making waves.
Yeah, really making some moves.
We've got their earnings call transcript and some investor notes,
Interesting stuff.
trying to figure out their recipe for success.
Absolutely.
And, what risks are they facing?
Yeah.
What does their future look like?
Good questions.
Is it as bright as their recent performance suggests?
Well, they're thriving
Oh, yeah.
in this economic climate where other companies are really struggling.
Interesting.
Their latest earnings call showed a record-breaking revenue growth,
Really?
64% year over year,
Wow.
hitting 32.6 crores.
That's,
326 million rupees.
wow. So impressive.
It really makes you wonder, what's their secret?
Yeah. Like, it's one thing to grow.
Yeah,
But to grow at that pace when everyone else is slowing down
exactly.
makes you think they're not content with just being another player.
Nope.
They want to dominate.
They want to be the leader in the Indian market and beyond.
Global ambitions.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how are they doing it?
It's more than just products.
Yeah.
They're building a whole platform
Interesting.
to meet a ton of business needs.
Yeah.
So they want to be the solution for any company looking to streamline and optimize their spending.
So platform-centric, not just product-focused.
Exactly.
Smart, especially in a market like India.
Right.
But how are they getting businesses onto this platform?
Well, one strategy is what we call land and expand.
Okay, land and expand.
They solve one specific pain point for a client,
Uh-huh.
build that trust, and then they offer more services.
To meet more of their needs.
Exactly, like a gateway drug.
But for spend management.
You got it.
Okay, I need an example.
All right, think about Subway.
The sandwich place.
That's the one. They were struggling to manage petty cash across all their locations in India.
I can imagine that's got to be a headache.
Huge headache.
Yeah.
So Zaggle comes in with their Zur Petty Cash solution,
Petty cash.
integrates with QR code payments,
Okay.
gives Subway that transparency and control they needed.
So it's like they swooped in, solved a very specific problem,
Uh-huh.
and in doing so, earned Subway's trust.
Exactly.
Okay, so what happened next?
Well, they didn't stop at petty cash.
Of course not. That's just the foot in the door.
Exactly. Once they'd proven their value, they introduced Subway to the whole platform.
Okay.
Solutions for employee expenses, benefits management, even bill payments.
So a one-stop shop.
For all their financial needs in India.
That's a pretty slick strategy.
It is.
What about beyond cards?
Oh, they're branching out.
Okay.
They're diversifying to capture even more of the market.
And how are they doing that?
In some pretty smart ways.
Okay, lay it on me.
Well, first, there's Zur.
Right, we talked about that, the petty cash thing.
Yeah, but it's bigger than that. It's a full platform for accounts payable management.
So they're tackling a problem.
That's common across businesses of all sizes.
Managing and reconciling all those invoices and payments.
It's a nightmare.
Right.
And Zaggle is offering a solution.
They're automating the process.
Exactly.
But is there demand for that in India?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You think so?
Especially businesses with multiple locations.
Right, right.
They're realizing how inefficient and risky manual accounts payable can be.
So Zaggle is capitalizing on that.
They're offering a solution that saves time, reduces errors.
And provides valuable insights into spending patterns.
Yeah, forget about that.
So it's efficiency, transparency.
Thanks for mine.
And what else?
Well, they're also tapping into digital payments with their BBPS offering.
Okay, break that down for me.
It stands for Bharat Bill Payment System.
Okay.
It's a platform where businesses can pay all their bills through one interface.
Wait, so Zaggle's getting into bill payments.
Seems like a departure, but it's strategic.
How so?
Remember, land and expand.
Uh-huh.
This embeds them even deeper into their clients' financial operations.
They're becoming indispensable? Yeah. What else?
Well, they're recognizing the globalization of business.
More and more Indians traveling and working abroad.
Exactly, and they've launched Zip,
What's Zip?
a platform for international payments and remittances.
So now they're going beyond borders.
They are.
Wow. Are they trying to compete with the big players in international payments?
Not really. It's more about complementing their existing offerings,
Okay.
meeting the needs of their clients.
Okay, so seamless international payments.
For businesses and individuals.
Like they're leaving no stone unturned
Nope.
in their quest to be the ultimate spend management platform.
That's the goal.
But are they spreading themselves too thin?
That's a valid question, but their expansion seems strategic.
Okay.
They're carefully choosing areas that align with what they're good at.
And meet the needs of their target market.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've seen their growth, their land and expands strategy.
And their diverse product offerings.
But what about their acquisitions?
Ah, yes, they've been busy.
You mentioned they're not afraid to make bold moves.
Very bold.
What have they been up to?
Well, they acquired a company called TaxSpanner.
Okay.
Brings a bunch of tax services under the Zaggle umbrella.
So on top of everything else, now they're offering tax services.
They are.
Are they trying to be a one-stop shop for all business financial needs?
It's starting to look that way.
That's a pretty big leap.
It is.
But I guess it makes sense strategically.
Right. It aligns perfectly with land and expand.
Start with one need, then become indispensable.
Exactly.
But acquisitions aren't cheap.
Nope.
How are they funding all this?
Well, they got board approval to raise 950 crores.
Wait, how much is that?
That's 9.5 billion rupees.
Wow.
Through a qualified institutional placement, or QIP.
Okay, hold on, back up. QIP.
Right, so QIP is a way for listed companies
Like Zaggle.
to raise capital from institutional investors.
Like mutual funds and insurance companies.
Yeah, it's faster and more efficient than a traditional public offering.
So they've got a lot of cash to fuel their growth.
They do.
But are they just throwing money at anything?
No, they've said they're looking for strategic acquisitions.
Okay.
Stuff that complements their existing offerings
Oh.
and allows them to enter new markets more quickly.
Okay, so what kind of companies?
They're looking at NBFCs.
What are those?
Non-banking financial companies.
Okay.
They provide financial services but don't have a full banking license.
Got it.
They're also looking at payment infrastructure
Uh-huh.
and even transportation as a service.
Wow, they're really going for it.
They are.
But is it too risky?
It's definitely high risk, high reward.
Right.
The challenge will be integrating all these acquisitions.
And making sure they actually contribute to growth and profitability.
Exactly.
Well, it seems like we're just scratching the surface of Zaggle's story.
Oh, yeah.
They're clearly on the move,
Definitely ambitious.
but there are always risks.
Of course.
We'll have to dive into those potential pitfalls in the next part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
So we've seen how Zaggle is going after growth.
Aggressively.
Yeah, through these acquisitions
Uh-huh.
and this really diverse product portfolio.
Lots of different things.
But are they biting off more than they can chew?
That's the question.
Or are they like masters of calculated risk?
Right. Because one of the biggest risks.
With an aggressive acquisition strategy
Yeah.
is integration.
Absolutely.
Buying a company is one thing,
Right.
but then fitting it into your own operations.
The culture, the tech.
It's a whole other challenge.
Yeah, botched integration can lead to all sorts of problems.
Conflicts, inefficiency.
Loss of customers. Hit to the bottom line.
Exactly. It's not just about the money.
Nope.
It's about making sure everything works together.
Seamlessly.
And Zaggle's buying companies in so many different areas.
Tax services, payments, even transportation.
It seems really complex.
It is.
How can they ensure a smooth integration across all these different businesses?
It's tough. No easy answer. They'll need to really look at each company they buy, their culture, their technology, how they operate,
Yeah.
find those potential conflicts, the overlaps,
Mhm.
and then they need a clear plan.
For integration.
Who does what, when, all of that.
And communication is key.
Huge. Got to talk to the employees.
At both companies.
Make sure everyone understands the vision.
And their role.
Yeah, get everyone on board.
So it's not just the financials and the operations.
Right.
It's the people, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk competition.
Getting crowded out there.
Spend management is a hot market.
In India and globally.
So how does Zaggle stand out?
How do they not get lost in the noise?
What makes them unique?
Well, a few things.
Okay.
They really understand the Indian market.
Good.
They tailor solutions to specific needs.
So they have an edge over those global players.
Who try to do the one-size-fits-all thing.
Right, right.
They've also built strong relationships with their clients.
More than just a vendor.
They're a partner.
And their land and expand strategy
We talked about that.
helps them keep those clients.
Less likely to go somewhere else.
Okay, so it's local expertise, strong relationships.
And a strategic approach to getting and keeping customers.
Exactly.
But what about their tech?
Is it really innovative?
Or are they just repackaging old ideas?
Well, they're not the only game in town,
Right.
but their platform does have some strengths.
Like what?
They focus on user experience.
Okay.
It's easy to use,
Uh-huh.
And they integrate with other popular tools.
So it's a seamless experience.
That's the idea.
And the data analytics.
The reporting gives businesses real insight.
Helps them make better spending decisions.
It's not just automating processes. It's about actionable intelligence.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
Regulatory landscape.
Financial services are complex.
And heavily regulated.
So many rules. How is Zaggle navigating all of that?
Are there any pitfalls they need to watch out for? Well, compliance is key. They've got to follow the Reserve Bank of India regulations.
Right.
And all sorts of other stuff on data privacy, anti-money laundering, cybersecurity.
That's a lot.
It is, but they have a good compliance team.
Okay.
And they've invested in robust systems.
So they're meeting all the requirements.
For now, but things change.
The regulatory landscape is always evolving.
Especially in India.
Right. So how do they stay ahead of the curve?
How do they not get blindsided?
They have to be agile, adaptable.
Okay.
Stay informed about upcoming changes. Talk to the regulators. Be ready to adjust.
Operations, technology.
To stay compliant.
So it's not a one-time thing.
It's ongoing.
Compliance is a process.
Absolutely.
But it's just one part of risk management. What other risks are out there?
What should investors be watching? Well, their rapid expansion could be a concern.
Into new markets, new business segments.
Diversification is good, but it's also challenging.
Okay.
They need to really understand each new market.
The dynamics, the regulations, and they need the right people.
The resources.
Support that growth.
So ambition is good, but prudence is important too.
It's a balancing act.
What about economic risks?
India is a high-growth market, but it can be volatile.
A slowdown could impact spending.
And that would hurt Zaggle's revenue.
And they're exposed to currency fluctuations.
Because of their international ambitions.
Right, so they need to diversify their revenue.
Build up a financial cushion.
Hedge against those currency risks.
It's like they're playing chess.
Haha, yeah.
Thinking several moves ahead.
Planning for different scenarios.
And we can't forget about technology risks.
They rely heavily on tech.
Disruptions, security breaches.
Those could be serious.
How are they handling cybersecurity?
It's a top priority.
I hope so.
They've invested in all the measures.
The firewalls, intrusion detection.
Hit encryption.
And they're doing audits, vulnerability assessments.
Regularly.
To find and fix weaknesses.
It's got to be a continuous effort.
Because technology is always evolving. And the threats are always changing.
So how do they stay ahead?
They have to keep learning about new threats.
Okay.
Invest in the latest security tech. And train their employees.
On data security.
That prevention.
It's a never-ending battle.
It is.
But one they can't afford to lose.
Nope.
So we've seen the integration challenges.
The competition.
The regulatory hurdles.
Economic volatility.
Cybersecurity threats.
A lot of obstacles.
Can Zaggle overcome all of this?
Can they keep growing?
What does the future hold?
It's not going to be easy.
Right.
But they've shown they can adapt, innovate.
Execute their strategy.
They've got potential.
But they need to be skillful.
To achieve their goals.
Okay, but let's step back for a second.
Okay.
How is all of this impacting the Indian economy?
Zaggle's growth, I mean.
Yeah. What does their success say about business in India?
It shows how dynamic the Indian tech sector is.
The entrepreneurial spirit.
They're creating jobs.
Contributing to growth.
Putting India on the map for financial technology.
And more businesses are adopting digital solutions.
It's a wave of digital transformation.
So Zaggle's not just building a company.
They're shaping the future
of the Indian economy.
It's a pretty inspiring story.
It is. But let's bring it back down to earth for a minute.
Okay.
We've talked about their ambitions.
The risks.
But what can we learn from them?
As individuals? As business leaders?
How can we apply these lessons?
That's a great question.
I thought so.
Well, there are a few key takeaways.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, their focus on customers, going above and beyond.
Really understanding their needs.
It's a lesson in customer centricity.
Okay.
Second, their land and expand strategy.
Right.
It's all about building relationships.
And expanding your influence.
Gradually.
And lastly, their ability to adapt.
In a fast-changing market.
Reminds us that we all need to embrace change.
Keep learning.
Evolving our skills.
To stay ahead.
Those are some great insights.
Glad you think so.
So, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
okay,
I want to leave our listeners with a thought.
Okay.
We've seen how Zaggle is using technology.
The acquisition.
A customer-centric approach.
To disrupt the market.
But it's more than just about money.
It's about innovation.
Adaptability.
The potential for Indian businesses to go global.
So think about what we've learned.
From Zaggle's journey
And how you can apply it
to your own life.
your career.
Zaggle's journey has some good lessons for anyone in business.
From entrepreneurs to executives.
Yeah, their constant innovation.
Their focus on customers.
And their ability to adapt in a crazy market.
Those are qualities we can all learn from.
Absolutely.
It's a story that shows us what ambition can do.
When you combine it with good execution
And a deep understanding of the market.
you can get some remarkable results.
But it also shows how important it is to manage risk.
To embrace change.
And to never just sit back and relax.
Always keep moving.
And let's not forget about the people.
Zaggle's success comes from their people.
Their passion, dedication, talent.
They've built a culture that encourages innovation.
Collaboration. A commitment to being the best.
You can't get that from technology or acquisitions alone.
It's the human element that makes a difference.
That intangible spark.
And it reminds us that business is about people.
At its core.
It's about building those relationships.
Solving problems, creating value.
Absolutely. And Zaggle's journey isn't over.
No, it'll be interesting to see what they do next.
Will they achieve their goal of being number one?
Only time will tell.
But they've already made a big
Up
impact.
in the Indian business scene.
And their story is inspiring.
For sure.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Zaggle,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with one last thought.
What's that?
We've seen how this company is using technology
Acquisitions.
and a focus on customers.
To shake things up.
But their story is bigger than that.
It's about innovation.
And adaptability.
Showing that Indian businesses can compete globally.
So think about what we've learned from Zaggle.
How can you apply it to your own life?
Your career, until next time, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep diving deep